Lover, cover me with your sleep. Let your love light shine, let it shine. Lover, cover me with your sleep. Let your love light shine, let it shine. Lover, cover me with your sleep. Let your love light shine, let it shine. My angels, my devils, thorn in my pride. My angels, my devils, thorn in my pride. Welcome to another horrid, terrible, abominable, censored episode of The Apocalypse. Congratulations for choosing The Apocalypse, by the way. And since you have unwisely chosen The Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you again. Again, notice the thumb tucked against the hand. I forgot to mention yesterday how that was relevant. That's what Donnie did during his wave, the picture I showed you the other day. For something is becoming trend. For Leon Scum and Donnie gave their permission and emboldened that trend. Let's go back to the picture, shall we? I had totally forgotten. Let me just scroll back a ways. In the time it took me to scroll this, they've censored 4 of my channels. I reached 5,000 subs, though. I don't know how I was shut down. I don't know how anyone was watching or why. But I made it. I crossed the finish line. I'm just trying to find this picture. I wasn't going to do this. I just want to show you quickly again. I've already shown it once. I'm trying to get to it, baby. I'm almost there. Here it is. Donnie on the roof, the Mad King, gonna drag us all the fuck down with him as he's playing his fiddle and roam birds. That's where this is all going, son. Are you ready? Okay, so this is Donnie's wave, and this is the last thing I got to post on my actual channel. And I don't know, when I saw it, it just kind of looked like something. The thumb's kind of tucked. It's not really a wave. I don't know. It just, on the roof, I knew what Donnie was trying to do. He was trying to have a Hitler moment. Donnie likes that shit. I told you about the Kennedy censor when he was standing there. That's what he's thinking in his head. When he's doing this right here, that's what he's thinking. Yeah, when I wave, my hand's like way above my shoulder, like I said. Donnie has a very interesting wave. It even looks like the thumb is kind of tucked a little bit in there. I don't know. It just doesn't look like a wave to me. And I know Donnie's a Nazi, so I don't know. I kind of wave like this. Not out here with my thumb like tucked under. No, I don't wave like that. I wave like... That's not what that is. You want to see it again? I know what it is. I don't care if anyone believes it. They don't have to. They don't have to die under the Reich, so doesn't matter what you believe. I know what it is. I knew what Donnie was doing walking around on the roof, yelling at the reporters as everyone was laughing at him, calling him insane. He is insane. That's true. But there's also an agenda in that head. He's trying to accomplish something here. What was accomplished in 1933? All that stuff. All of it. Same thing. That's what they believe, son, not me. That's what they believe. That's why it's happening. Not because I believe it. I believe what I see before my eyes. And I know what a Nazi salute looks like. And I know who the Nazis are, so. Now I got to go back all the way to where my presentation was. The big presentation for all three of you. Whatever. If the message is censored, that ain't my fault. That ain't the man's fault. I can only do what I can do. I can only have control over what I have control over. Just kind of scratching my head that one of the richest CEOs in the world went to the White House yesterday to deliver the president a literal piece of gold in exchange for an exemption to the president's tariffs, and did it on live TV. Yes, crimes and bribery are now allowed on TV right in front of your face in the Donnie Shitbags era. I have been bringing this up for 10 years. When Donnie said on camera at a podium, Russia, if you're listening, that was a direct communication to a foreign government, and they acted on it. He did that on live television. He should have been thrown out of the election just for that. Just for asking for foreign help right at a podium on TV. I know the Rubes don't understand the concept that if you're loyal to a foreign government or you're in cahoots with a foreign government, then it's, it's in opposition to everything the Constitution says and stands for. But you Rubes don't believe in the Constitution, so. You just believe in your team winning and power. Okay. That's going to take us all to the abyss. I'll see you there. So yeah, what did Tim basically do? Tim Apple, when he went there yesterday, he gave him a gold bar with a piece of glass attached to the top. That's what it looked like to me. And he walked out with an exemption on the promise of some ludicrous amount of money of investment. That's what all these, countries are doing. They're just throwing a number at Donnie. He goes away. He gets to tell you he brought 17 trillion in from a country, or 600 billion from Tim Apple, or whatever. The numbers are absurd, and they have no basis in reality. It will never happen. What happens is exactly what I said would happen when Donnie started talking shit on Apple again. Because he's hit him 3-4 times already. That means it's time to come pay tribute, son. Mr. Sindar, when it happens to you, that's what it means. The next time he talks shit on Google, that means go pay him some more tribute like you have done already. For Tim Apple, again, in a month when he starts talking shit on you, that, the factories aren't up yet or whatever, you go pay tribute again. That's exactly what happened. I said it would happen before it happened. When Donnie started talking shit on Apple, I said, well, maybe Tim should go pay some tribute, and it'll go away for a little bit. But he'll come a-knocking again on all your doors. Zuckerberg, Sindar, whoever I was talking about, Gates, Tim Apple, all of you. I said this before the election, too. Gonna just keep coming and knocking. Gonna wipe those tax cuts right the fuck out. 1,000-fold. Just from tribute and fucking up your business. Fucking with it. Running it. Like a commie. Gonna ruin all your businesses. It's gonna be fascinating to watch. He's doing a good job already. A lot of businesses already $1 billion in the hole, 500 million in the hole because of tariffs. This is the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. I have no clue who this fucking guy is. All I know is he's dressed like this. And he's the lieutenant. He's got peach pants on with white, I don't even know what those are, a bow tie, a very custom tailored jacket and shirt. Yeah. And those are nut pants too, son. Those are, skin tight. I'm just going to say this and be honest. No straight man would leave his house looking like that. Do you hear me, son? So we found another one that's in the closet like Lindsay and others. Oh my God, if it isn't obvious with this motherfucker. Oh, is the bow tie peach too? Or maybe that's just his collar open. I thought he had a bow tie on. Maybe he doesn't, but yeah, no straight guys leaving the house like that. And that's the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. And here's what he had to say. Here's what the closeted gay man from Indiana that happens to be Lieutenant Governor had to say. Are you going to make sure that the immigrants detained have due process? These people are not seeing a judge. Remember, I announced the opening of a new concentration camp. It's called Speedway something. It's in Indiana. Oh my God, it's perfect. They'll love it. They'll love it. It's perfect for that area. These people are not seeing a judge. How about due process? You know, the thing that got erased off the Library of Congress website the other day, and then they pretended it was a coding error and that the right didn't want it gone. Remember that? Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. They don't have a right to see a judge. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. When the Japanese were bombing Pearl Harbor, did we give them due process? First of all, the Mexicans, the people from south of the border, they're not bombing anything. They're not at war with us. That's a ridiculous joke of a concept. Second of all, cunts that wear peach nut pants. We shouldn't have put the Japanese in camps either. They weren't people that were fighting us. George Takei, the guy from Star Trek, he was in one of those camps. He wasn't attacking nobody. My point is, yeah, we shouldn't have rounded up the Japanese and put them in fucking camps either. What a ridiculous notion Mr. Peach Nutpants has here. This is a ridiculous argument. It's a scumbag argument. And you have the right to due process in this fucking country. It don't matter if you're a citizen. Son. Irrelevant. Until Donnie came along. And again, son, if you think they only want to take due process away from illegal immigrants, you notice how everything is blanketed under the cover of illegal immigrants when you people voted for a convicted felon, by the way. It ain't about illegal immigrants, man. It's about you. And it's too late for you to see that. It ain't going to make a difference. Sorry. So clap like a seal now. Because when it comes to knocking, you won't be clapping. They don't have a right to see a judge. Yes, they do. When the Japanese were bombing Pearl Harbor, he compares it to the Japanese who we were at war with. He compares people coming here for a better life. Crossing a line, basically, is what they did wrong. And his argument is as fucking ridiculous as his peach nut pants. And dude, just come out of the closet, man. It's okay. I know you're in the Republican Party and everything, and they'll like crucify you and ostracize you and all that. But man, I'm sure noticing a lot of gay men in the Republican Party, and it's fucking obvious. Holy fuck. Peach nut pants? Lieutenant Governor, really? In the Family Values Party? I don't know. I'm smelling a closet. I don't know. Whatever, I don't care. Just come out. Oh, that's right. Your own people would crucify you. You can't. Never mind. He's kind of letting the world know with the peach nut pants, though. No dude, no straight guy would leave the house like this. No way. No fucking way. When I saw this guy, I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? This is Indiana, for fuck's sake. Supposed to be the heartland, right? And the lieutenant governor walking around in peach nut pants. And a very tailored job. You know, I'm getting some skinny George Santos vibes here in the attire. I really am. George Santos would wear this outfit. I'm serious. He would wear that. Literally, he would wear that. Again, I don't know. Just come out. Whatever. Gives a shit. This is Netanyahu in an interview today. Donnie's interview, I'm not even going to talk about it. He held up a bunch of charts and signs as if that were proof of how great the economy is. No, the what are they called? The Wonderful Seven, the Magnificent Seven, whatever. 35% of the Dow Jones stock market they gave exemptions to. So that's why the Dow is cool right now. The rest of us, fucked. Economy fucked, and it's going to get worse. A lot worse. But those Dow people, they're making sure they got the exemptions they need to keep that number up. The rest of us, fucking fucked. The plans they have for us. Be ye rube or non-rube, does meaningless. So we're on to Netanyahu, so I'm not going to waste time on Donnie's stupid he held up this, and he held up... It reminded me of the Sharpieing of the weather map, actually. You can't deny reality with a Sharpie. It doesn't work. You can't negate reality. You can't negate reality, the economy down here on the street. And for a lot of people, small businesses, people that have a couple million. Horrible. You can't negate that with some bullshit charts in the Oval Office. Donnie's a child. He thinks he can. He thinks that act has some impact on people. No, we all sit back and laugh at it. And it reminded me again of him Sharpieing the weather map. So, no, the economy's not good. The Dow's cool, though. And sometimes that coincides. The Dow being cool and the economy being good. Sometimes that matches up. Oftentimes it does not. Right now it does not. Get the fuck out of here. Layoffs all over the place. Every major company is complaining that the tariffs are killing them. Anyway, on to Netanyahu. Will Israel take control of all Gaza? Netanyahu, we intend to. Yeah, we know, Bibi, and that's what everyone was yelling about before the election. All you Palestine people that care about that issue, if you don't make sure Kamala wins or someone else wins besides Donnie, then Gaza is over. Now we've gotten to the point where they're saying it's over. Yeah, we're going to occupy all of it. We intend to take all of it, yes. We warned you. We begged you. You Palestine people that cared about that issue. Now the issue doesn't exist anymore. It's over. They're gone. They're going to remove everybody. They're going to occupy the whole thing. They're going to expand Israel into it, I'm sure. That's what you've done. Now, see, we all knew this was going to happen the second Donnie won. That's what I've been saying since Donnie won. Yeah, Gaza's over. Forget about it. The cause is over. Now they're saying it out loud. Now they're announcing it. Now they're verifying. Now they're putting it before the world. We're taking all of it. He's turning the White House into his garish 1980s style Florida club. Yes, this is the White House now with the phallic umbrellas. They just look kind of phallic-y to me. People keep saying that's what he's got at Mar-a-Lago. So he's turning the White House into the Trump Taj Mahal and Mar-a-Lago combined. No more garden. You know, because Donnie and Melania are really pissed they can never be the Kennedys. Never have that kind of class, that kind of adoration. You know what I mean? So just ruin it all. That's what the devil does too. Donnie's the Antichrist, so It makes sense. A gaudy patio with dick umbrellas. That's what it looks like to me. Sorry. The newly redesigned Rose Garden, complete with cafe-style tables and umbrellas, very Mar-a-Lago-ish. Nice. Yeah, take one more look, and then we'll move on. Take one more look at the dick umbrellas. Classy. Donnie always keeps it classy. Classing up the place. What, they don't have real gold ones? That's the closest to gold that you can get. What the fuck? I'm Caesar. What a fucking joke. You'll understand why this is relevant later. This is George Conway posting something from the New York Times from 1935. Center of stage for Hitler. Opening of games arranged to give him leading role. Berlin, October 22nd. Chancellor Adolf Hitler will play the leading role at the opening of next year's Olympics in Berlin. When athletes from all over the world have been assembled in the polo field just outside, and the president of the International Olympic Committee, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's something that Hitler did and wanted to do. Obviously, he pressured his way into this, I'm sure, just like Donnie's doing now. And I'll explain that to you later. You'll understand why this is relevant. October 1935. Hitler made himself the center of attention at the Olympics. Elbowed his way in, I'm sure, just like Donnie. Same thing. They are the same thing. Donnie wants to do what Hitler did. I'm not kidding you, joshing you, exaggerating. As horrific and as evil as it was, Donnie, Leon, Petey, Greasy Pete, Dugan, Vlad, they want to do what Hitler did. All of it. Vlad's doing most of it now already. They want to take us there. They think that's a noble place. Why? Because they're of Satan, son. That's why. Utterly, totally, and fucking completely. Yes, RFK Jr. want to take you there. Dr. Oz want to take you there. They don't fool me. They say it out loud. I know what eugenicist talk sounds like, son. Even though they think they're clever and mask it well and modernize it well. No, it's just eugenics. It's just dystopia. It's just a Reich, and they believe in it. Oz, RFK, Donnie, Leon, Hegseth, all of them. They believe in it. What happened to the door? Yes, Donnie's really classing it up. Again, check it out. The gold molding that's been put on every damn thing. The top two pieces, the circular gold molding, there's a kind of raised square behind them, and the things don't even fit on it. And Donnie's like, fuck it, slap them up there. I want more gold. I'm God, I'm Caesar, I'm the king. Is this a man? Does that look like he's leaving, son? All that gold on the wall. And that's just a small sample. Does that look like a man who doesn't think he's a king? Or a god? Or a Caesar? Yep, they're gonna take us to that place, or they're gonna try their damnedest. Where Adolf took the world, that's exactly where they want to take it. They think it's a good thing. They think they're doing something great, just like Adolf did. I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census, and illegals will not be counted. That's all I'm reading. I'm not going to waste any more of our time on this. This is the reason he's doing the census. And I got the Jesus feeling from this, because I know he's the Antichrist. He wants to do a census. I don't think there's a baby Jesus that's going to be born, no. What I mean is, in the story, Christ's mother and Joseph had to leave the area they were at, travel to take part in a census. That census back then was to try and find the Christ and handle that. That was the point of it. This census is about something else. It just reminded me of that. The next part of the plan is steal the midterms and or the 2028 election and attempt to do a mid-decade census to take seats and electoral votes away from blue states. I knew this was coming. So how's the census going to come back? Well, it's going to come back much more Republican than it was before. That's how it's going to come back. Because certain people ain't going to get counted. And I don't believe they ain't going to just not count illegals. That's the preface to not count whoever we don't want to count. In other words, they'll modify the census so they get the desired result, which is gerrymandering on a national scale. That's why Donnie's doing it. Ron nailed it. I was wondering, I was glad I saw Ron Filipkowski's post. He explained it perfectly. That's exactly what the census is for. That's why Donnie's doing it. So it won't just be illegals that aren't counted. Don't worry. Don't worry. The blanket over everything is illegals, and you rubes parrot it. They're illegal, as if you give a fuck about that. You voted for a convicted felon, you fucking hypocrite. You voted for a rapist, a defamer, a fraud, adjudicated. You don't give a fuck about breaking the law. So spare me the argument, that illegal alien broke the law. Yes, so did your Messiah, son. But you don't seem to mind that. The president going after the CEO of Intel. Yes, I saw this and I knew exactly what it meant. He was talking about Tim Apple the other day in Apple. They came and paid tribute just like I said they should. Now he's talking about the CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. There is no other solution to this problem. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He's telling a company to get rid of their CEO. And he does this, I don't know, 9 times a week. Tells TV stations what they should be broadcasting. Tells us what we should be talking about. Tells the press what questions they can ask. Gets some of the press fired. Tries to run someone's company 20 times a week via proclamation. So what does this mean for the CEO of Intel and that company? It means it's time to come pay tribute. That's why Donnie does this. He wants you rattled, coming to his feet, laying that gold bar down. That's what he wants. And give him a number he can parrot over the airwaves. 400 billion, 100 billion, whatever. These astronomical, ridiculous sums of money. So the CEO of Intel, I'm letting you know, it's time to come pay tribute to Donnie. That's what Donnie's saying here. I wonder what you're going to give him. Here's Janine, and my God. First, before we get into what she said, let's see how she looks. Now, I assume she knew about this upcoming big press event. I can tell by the outfit she's wearing. I can tell she's had a little extra work done. Maybe starved herself a little bit. Just drank. You know what I mean? She has the twist face. The twist face is someone who's an alcoholic, who's been drinking day after day for fucking years. It's just a kind of chaotic, I don't know what to call it, glow and twist on their face. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but man, she just looks, I don't know, she looks drunk, like she always does. Or did she go get some new work done because for her big, press event right now? And wait till you hear what she said. Just the vibe, the cocking, the way her head is cocked, the expression on her face, the way her mouth is. I would say, yeah, she's got some booze in her. She has that kind of hangdog look, I guess you could say. So what did she say? Beautiful stuff. You're going to love this. Do you support a federal takeover of Washington, D.C. as the president suggests? You mean like the president acting like a dictator and sending troops, America's own troops, into an American city when there's no war going on, there's no rebellion going on? That's what you mean? Like he did in L.A.? Like they did in several other states already? That is a decision for the president. You're going to love this part. Young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable by having men with machine guns on the streets. We're going to put our own troops on the streets because young people are coddled. This cunt destined for the lake dared say. These are the arguments they're putting forth for putting our military on our streets. And my God, they're evil arguments. They're also ridiculous arguments. Especially to justify putting U.S. troops that are meant for war on our fucking streets. Young people are coddled. They don't need to be coddled anymore. Says the woman, the alcoholic woman who works for a dictator, a tyrant, who wants to put your own troops on your own streets. And notice the blanket has changed a little bit for D.C. Do you notice it's not about illegals this time? It wasn't about illegals in L.A. either. There were protests, which the L.A. police handled just fine, by the way. They didn't need the men with machine guns. Not necessary, but Donnie wanted them, because that was always the plan. I told you that a long time ago. The Nazi salute. Whenever you're wondering what is going on. Is it real? Is it happening? Is it going there? To that dystopia. To that Reich. Remember Inauguration Day. Never forget it. Leon, gacked up on ecstasy or whatever, throws up a very sincere Nazi salute, and everyone knows it. Whenever you're doubting what's going on, whenever you're thinking it's not so bad, whenever you're wondering where it's going, remember Inauguration Day, the Nazi salute. That's where it's going. India halts procurement of 6 Boeing P-81 planes after 50% price hike driven by U.S. tariffs. Government orders strategic review of big-ticket defense deals. Yes, as we fuck with other countries, they're going to cancel contracts with American companies. That's what will happen. That will be the result. Donnie's doing great. Another mission accomplished, ruining a few businesses, I'm sure. I'm sure some contractors will have to go on unemployment and look for a job and all that. Just because of tariffs on India. Isn't that amazing? And hey, Donnie's probably just going to pocket all the money, so that's what all this is for. A really worthy cause. Did you ever ask yourself, why does Donnie love tariffs so much? Every 3 seconds it's fucking tariffs. He must get some personal benefit, wouldn't you say? To go through all this hell, take all this backlash. Have guys like Dave Portnoy a few months ago crying on the internet because he lost $20 million? There must be some personal reward. I know what it is. Again, I told you, Donnie looks at every federal dollar as his, and those tariffs, I guarantee he looks like that's my money. And he brags about how high the number is all the time, and I don't believe the number. 100 billion, 500 billion, 200, whatever. He keeps throwing these numbers out. This is how much in tariffs we've made. No, that's how much Donnie's made. Did you get a check, son? Did it build a school in your neighborhood? There's a reason Donnie loves tariffs so much. And it ain't a good one. 200 days of winning. The White House posted this. And I don't know, Donnie looks like kind of a madman in the picture. This doesn't look like a picture regarding winning. It kind of looks like a horror movie where a mad, crazy person is in a fit, and then the style of writing, you know, if you just glanced at this, what's this, a cover to a new horror movie? What the fuck is this? This is their idea of winning, and what I see in this picture, chaos and evil and insanity. Why? Because they don't even know how to present it as a reality, because it's not a reality. It's the inversion of reality. No, it's not going well at all for anyone. And yeah, 200 days of, like, who made that? Who designed this? Who picked this picture of Donnie where he looks like, I don't know, he's about to bite an apple or something? He looks like a madman. What is this? Look at it again. It looks like the cover of some old horror movie or something. What were they thinking? Again, they're all of Satan, so I guess that's the best Satan can come up with as an advertisement for, you know, success. What the fuck is this? And again, the White House posted this. Very flattering. It looks exactly like the smoking area at the VA clinic. The dick umbrellas, the patio over the rose garden. Because Melania is an ex-hooker and Donnie is just a kind of frumpy loser. And they're really mad at the Kennedys because they're not like the Kennedys. They're not adored. They're not taken seriously like the Kennedys. Looks like the smoking area at the VA. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. This is a Fox interview of an economic advisor for the Reich. Are we absolutely sure that all those trillions of dollars being pledged to come to America, are we sure they're going to arrive? You know, what I keep talking about every night, how, you know, these numbers, 600 billion, 3 trillion, yeah, that's never going to happen. Those are ridiculous, you know, astronomical figures. You know, GDPs of entire countries, Donnie is talking about other countries giving us. No, that's never going to happen. But it's sure you rubes get a talking point to say at the water cooler, right? That Donnie's doing good. The Trump economic advisor, I would hope so. And this is what the interview looks like. These are the guys. I guess that's the economic advisor standing outside the White House doing the interview. I would hope so, he says. reporter asks him, did Donnie really win his 36th club championship at his own club? Or do you think he cheated and just made himself the winner? Well, I would hope so, that he actually won it. That's where we're at with this guy and his opinion on this alleged, trillions of dollars from other countries, the 600 or 400 billion that Apple's going to invest. They know what to do now, though. When Donnie starts talking shit on your company, you pay him a little tribute. He gives you a little more time. He doesn't break your legs. That's exactly what he's doing. It's like a signal. It's like a cue. Every time he talks shit on a company or a group, time to come pay me tribute again, or you're going to have problems. It's incredible. And yeah, those numbers never going to happen. The trillions from other countries, the 400 billion from Apple. No. They must have gave something good to Donnie, though, because he gave him a little exemption on the tariffs. So, Zhengzhou, China suspended work, classes, public transport, and outdoor activities after torrential rain triggered severe flooding. The city issued a level 4 or 3 flood emergency response as streets, metro stations, highways heavily inundated, forcing partial metro shutdowns, full closure of the Ring Expressway. Yes, again, in China, just all over the world, the rainfall is just out of fucking control, and it's concerning me. That's why I'm reading this to you. And again, this is just one event. There was probably 6 today in different parts of the world. And it's the rain, man. So much rain comes down in such a short amount of time that it's just making these areas into rivers. Look what happened in Texas. 150 dead. That was from rain. Their next trick is stealing all the wealth boomers are sitting on before anyone can inherit it. Yep. I said a while ago, my mother's generation, that is the baby boomers generation. She's no longer with us, but her generation, you guys got to build up a lot of wealth because you bought a house in the fucking 70s or the 60s for fucking $12,000 or $40,000. That house is now worth $600,000. So that's a lot of wealth built over time. Now us assholes that were born later, we can't afford nothing. So we're fucked. But that wealth is still there. Those assets are there. How much have banks, just nefarious entities, how much have they stolen of it already? From, some poor baby boomer that got in a tight spot at some point. This has been going on for a while, and what I've been telling you is the baby boomers' wealth that they build up, from that point forward, the next several generations have been living off their parents, a good percentage of them. The wealth that they built, it's disappearing just from that already. They've had to support their kids and grandkids because they're the ones with the money. Cost of living hadn't gone up 1,000-fold yet. The only reason the American society has survived the way it has to this point right now is people living with their parents, get money off their parents, etc. Because one generation that was left, the baby boomers, got to build up some wealth. Serious wealth. I mean, the house went up in value way over 100%. From the 70s till now, my God. That's quite the profit. You can't do that now. Those days are gone. So the only reason we've made it to this point is the wealth of the prior generations being sucked away from them, because the next few generations have to live on it because they can't afford the cost of living. This scam that's being pulled on all of us. It's sad to watch, and yes, they will steal it all. I talked about this before. Old ladies with a couple $1,000,000, I worry about them. That shit might go away. Because Donnie dismantling and looting this entire thing. And I mean all of it. Then they come to you after they've stolen everything of value, real value. Cash, gold, homes, property. They just own so much of it. They've stolen everything. Then they come to you with the Donnie coin or digital coin that's absolutely worthless. Doesn't even exist. Once everyone's desperate, once the big banking crash or however they're going to fucking do it, they'll figure it out, don't worry. I told you day one they got to crash it. They have to. So when they crash it and they do steal all that wealth from the baby boomers and everyone else, they're going to come at you with the coin probably. The worthless coin. They've already taken, again, everything of real value. They come back at you with the worthless coin. Here, we'll give you this to replace what you've lost, as they sit on everything you've lost. This is Netanyahu again. Has President Trump given the green light for your plan to take over the remaining 25% of Gaza and occupy all of it? He just says, I know Israel will do what it has to do. So Gaza's over again. They're announcing it. They're saying it out loud. They're not denying it. They're not shying away from it. Well, freedom zone, well, security zone. No, we're taking all of it. That's what the Reich's doing. That's what Bibi Netanyahu's doing. Following an astonishing 711 millimeters of rainfall over just 3 days, which triggered severe flooding in Huizhou, Guangdong, local military forces constructed emergency dams in an effort to contain the waters and prevent further devastation. Emergency dams, son. That's where we're at in some places. Holy shit. And it kind of looks like this. And this don't look good at all. All that flooding, you know, breeding ground for mold, germs, disease, all kind of bad stuff, man. Silicon Valley, this is a random commenter. Silicon Valley doesn't predict the future. I love what they said here. It picks the one it wants and then pours billions of dollars into making it happen. So when they say AI will replace us, that's not a helpful warning. It's their business plan. Exactly, it's their model. Why does every oligarch have their own AI? Gates, Zuck, Leon, everyone. Donnie's going to have his own. Why do they all want this? There's only one real logical reason: to fire everyone. They don't have to pay nobody. That's their wet dream. All robots, all AI. I don't got to pay a single human. I get to keep all the money. I don't have to do anything. So what's the other only logical reason to invent this thing called AI? It could be omnipresent and police us. That's the only other legitimate reason. Nothing else. Nothing else. Fire everyone and enslave you. That's the only two logical reasons to have AI. It ain't for the betterment of society. What this person said, I've been trying to say in my own way many a night. They taking it where they want to take it. And that's going to be our future, whether we fucking like it or not. We don't get a say. If the oligarchy wants it, it's going to happen. If they invest billions into it, it's going to be a reality. They don't want to lose their investment. Fuck you and me. So what does this mean? This means Leon, Zuckerberg, all the oligarchs that have their own various AIs, they want to take us into that future. And there ain't shit we can do about it. They already have. AI's all over the place already. And now it's in your government systems. It's in our military systems. It's over. It's part of us now. Too late to go back. And just like this person says, the oligarchy wants it, not just Silicon Valley. And I'm sorry, when has the oligarchy, I really have to ask you this question, when has the oligarchy ever cared about you and the betterment of our society? Is that why they do things? Or do they do things to get rich and powerful? They do things to get rich and powerful. Okay. So they all want AI. Why do they want it? What's it going to do for you and me? Make us unemployed and enslave us. That's what it'll do. Why? Because it can be omnipresent. Someone else has to stay awake, be loyal, whatever. You hit a button. AI plus drones plus you. Simple. Technology already exists. The surveillance system in America specifically isn't fully set up yet, but it will be. That's what Thail's doing. Again, two logical reasons for AI. Enslavement and unemployment. That's it. According to the resort that Ghislaine Maxwell is staying, she is allowed to leave the facility, visit the neighboring town during the day. Basically, Trump has let her go and made it clear if she helps him, she will be free. Yep. I had a feeling she got the same deal Jeffy had down in Florida. Jeff Epstein was allowed to leave and go home and do whatever and, just come back to the jail a couple hours, make it look good. Ghislaine now has the same deal. She's basically free. That's great, right? That's what you've done, Rubes. Thanks to you, sex traffickers are going free. Are you proud of yourself? And it's your boy literally doing it. Can't blame nobody else, son. Just you and your boy. Your orange boy. Sorry, I lost my spot here. Wanted to move to the next thing. So yes, Ghislaine got the same deal as Jeff Epstein had. U.S. military is buying Tesla Cybertrucks to use as targets for missiles. That's from Electric. So, what does this mean? This means Leon gets more welfare. You build a product, a substandard product that no one wants. And you can't offload them. You can't get rid of them. You got lots full of them around the world. Okay, another socialist handout from the government. We'll buy them and we'll just blow them up. Use them as targets on our ranges. More welfare for Leon. That's your pocket. That money's coming out of. You are paying for the military to buy his shitty trucks to blow up. You see how that works? Just more welfare for Leon. That's all this is. Only reason it's happening. Breaking on MSNBC. A group met to discuss Jeffrey Epstein and other topics at the White House last night. AG Pam Bondi, Kash Patel were both there. The two fired FBI agents with ties to Mar-a-Lago search was also discussed. So their Epstein strategy meeting, instead of having it at the couchfucker's house, like I said yesterday, they just had it somewhere else. Like I said yesterday, they were just going to move that meeting somewhere else. How would we ever know? Well, now we know. And they did exactly what I said. So I guess the meeting was planned for JD's, the couchfucker's house at first. And since it went public, someone leaked it. Oh, we'll just have it at the White House, and that way Donnie can just, walk in and join. Trump says NVIDIA and Apple will dodge the 100% tariff on semiconductors due to their investments in the U.S. Well, the money hasn't been laid down. I'm sure Donnie got some money. He probably got a down payment that he isn't telling us about. So they dodged the tariffs by giving the tribute. Just like I said. Just like I said that he should do. Donnie will leave you alone for like a month. Then he'll come back in a month, talk shit. You got to give him another, I don't know, 100 million or whatever you gave him. I don't know. Mike Johnson's West Bank trip tied to apocalyptic prophecy. I don't usually read things like this. This popped up in my feed, and I just thought it was interesting. House Speaker Mike Johnson's recent visit to occupied West Bank wasn't just a political gesture. It was part of a years-long evangelical campaign tied to end times prophecy. Ryan Grimm reports Johnson has personally supported a movement to rebuild a Jewish third temple. I want to stop right here for a second. These people in the Reich also believe in this. Hegseth believes in it. Mike Johnson. Donnie wants it to happen. In other words, it ain't just Donnie want this thing to go through. A lot of top people in the Reich, like Mike Johnson and Hegseth, they want it to happen as well. They all know about it. It's discussed. It's an agenda. It's real. It will happen. Who the fuck's gonna stop them? Nobody. What I didn't realize was I heard someone say the Al-Aqsa Mosque, or maybe I got it from this today. Let me just continue reading. The Jewish Third Temple, which would require the destruction of Al-Aqsa Mosque. Yes, I read it here. I didn't know the mosque would have to be destroyed to fit it. I thought there was room for both. I guess there's not. Destroying that mosque on a Temple Mount would probably start World War III in normal times. In these times, if Bibi and Donnie did it, no Arab country would come against them. They wouldn't fucking dare. In 2023, he invited a rabbi and Texas evangelical behind the shipment of 5 red heifers to Israel, animals central to a biblical purification ritual meant to trigger the apocalypse. Well, animal sacrifice is part of the Jewish religion. The only reason it kind of went away is because when Jesus Christ came, he was the ultimate final sacrifice. So we no longer had to sacrifice animals. That was the practice of atonement for sin before Jesus Christ, that the Jews practiced. And the better your animal, the more sins it covered according to man. So it's not just to trigger the apocalypse per se, even though in their mind maybe it is. That's what the Jewish part of the actual Jewish faith. To atone for your sins, you have to kill an animal. That was standard practice before Jesus Christ. Now, if you kill an animal after Jesus Christ, you are negating the sacrifice. You are not giving Christ the credit that is due. You are insulting the whole effort. But again, if you're a Jew and you believe in that religion, all throughout the Old Testament, that's how they atoned for sins, was animal sacrifice. Then Christ came and sacrificed himself. He became the ultimate final sacrifice for all sin, past, present, future, everything. Let me continue. So the red heifer is animal sacrifice is literally part of the Jewish faith. Maybe this movement, they wanted to trigger the apocalypse, but the thing is, the evangelicals should know, I'm sure they've read Revelation, that the building of the third temple is not a good thing. And the person that takes part in that third temple is the Antichrist. It says it right in the story. So what does that mean? That means these people, these evangelical, they're of Satan. They're helping Satan's agenda along, even though ultimately they're a tool of God. I explained that a long time ago. The devil in all his spite, malice, everything, in the end will be nothing but a tool for the greater glory of God. and his creation. The same concept is explained by Tolkien in the Silmarillion, when the devil Melkor, that's the devil character, disobeyed God and rebelled against him. He told Melkor, whatever you do, to the weather, to the earth, whatever you do, you'll only prove an instrument for my greater glory. Because you're an idiot, and I'm God. Same concept here with our God. And his imp, the devil. Same concept. So the red heifer meant to trigger the apocalypse. Why is this cut off? The heifers were flown to Israel as pets to bypass export laws. Land was quietly acquired near the Temple Mount for the sacrifice. And Johnson recently toured the site where the heifers are now being raised. Well, they haven't started building it yet, but I'm sure they will soon. I told you this a long time ago. I read about this years ago. The Israelis have been foaming at the mouth, not all of them, some of them, foaming at the mouth to build this temple. They got the equipment ready, they got the materials ready, they got the sacrifices ready. So again, it's not going to take 20 years to build it. They're going to be in a hurry. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu now says the shocking images of Gaza's completely flattened landscape aren't the result of months of Israeli airstrikes, artillery, and systematic bulldozer operations, but because Hamas booby traps every single building. In his words, the reason you see the flattened buildings is because Hamas booby traps every single building. After we move in, we put in an APC with a lot of explosives, detonate it, it sets off all the booby traps, and the buildings begin to collapse. This is the leader of a military campaign that has systematically and deliberately razed entire cities and towns in Gaza block by block. Now, I'm not buying Bibi's story here that, no, none of those buildings were bombed or hit by missiles, or we didn't just destroy them outright. I'm not buying that every single building is booby-trapped. No. Look, he's just not being honest here. They had an agenda I told you about before they made that commercial with the gold Donnie statues. This was the plan from day one. Netanyahu's just making the excuses he needs to make to keep it going, to continue, and nothing's going to stop it. No one's going to stop it, unfortunately. This was the plan from second one. Again, that's why so many of us were yelling for 10 years, and right before this last election, don't do it. Because Bibi is Donnie's best friend, and according to Donnie, hey, whatever Bibi wants to do, I'm good with. And again, what I wanted to say when I read you about this Mike Johnson and the temple stuff, they believe it, man. Just like the Nazi stuff, those Nazis, Donnie, Leon Thale, others in government, Hegseth, they believe that. They believe this Third Temple shit. They're all about it. All roads lead there. I keep trying to tell you that. That's why this agenda is paramount, this Israel thing, protector of the Jews. That's what drunk-ass Janine was talking about today. Anti-Semitism out there, and that she's going to go after people. This protector of the Jews act is going way over the top with the Reich. There's a reason for that, and it ain't because they like Jews, son. They Nazis, I told you. Again, Inauguration Day. You saw a Nazi salute. That's all that needs to be said. So they don't like Jews. Don't let the act fool you. They have an agenda. There's a reason they want this. I know why Donnie wants it. That temple, it all leads there. All of it. That's why I read you the Mike Johnson thing. Unconscionable, the Trump admin will be sending undocumented immigrants to Angola, one of the worst prisons in the country, a place where conditions are notorious bad and deaths are common. The Trump administration is planning to house immigrant detainees in the notorious Louisiana state pen at Angola, once known as the bloodiest prison in the country. When I read this, I thought to myself, if there is evil to be done, the Reich is all over it, baby. They're right on top of it. This is evil. Yay, more camps. It's just a camp that's already built. Judge orders halt, speaking of camps, concentration camps that is. Judge orders halt to construction at Florida's Alligator Auschwitz. Okay, it's already built and there's already people there, so this is worthless and meaningless. New York Times, it looks like that. Worthless, meaningless, way too late. That's why they built it so fast. They knew there would be court challenges. Already got the people sweating to death, getting bit by mosquitoes. I hear there's an outbreak of some illness as well going round. So this ruling is goddamn worthless. Thanks a lot, though, Judge. You're a big help. Now, this is IndyCar saying that they did not know about this. Yesterday, what I showed you, the Speedway concentration camp they're trying to build in Indiana. You know, the guy in the peach nut pants was probably talking about it at his town hall. Lieutenant Governor. So this image was posted by the White House, Homeland Security, one of them. I believe it was Homeland Security. You know, because that's real cool. Race cars and concentration camps, right, Rubes? You would think this was a movie. That's how stupid you fucking people are. That they can put a picture of a concentration fucking camp next to a race car and you cunts will think it's cool. That's why your country's gone. You're too stupid. You don't deserve it anymore. I'm sorry. You chose it. I didn't, son. I didn't choose this. You did, because you like the WWF. You like the thought of locking people up you don't like forever. You like race cars. And you're stupid. That's why this picture exists. Because they know it works on you fucking idiots. So IndyCar has a statement about their image being used for, you know, concentration camps. IndyCar tells me they were not aware of the Department of Homeland Security's plans to use Speedway as part of their branding for the new ICE detention center coming to Indiana. They're asking that their name and imagery no longer be associated with the topic. It comes after Secretary Puppy Killer announced the next Alligator Auschwitz will be in Indiana and will be called Speedway Slammer because you fucking SEALs love slogans. Another reason your country's over. IndyCar shared this statement with me. We were unaware of plans to incorporate our imagery as part of today's announcement. Consistent with our approach to public policy and political issues, we are communicating our preference that our IP not be utilized moving forward in relation to this matter. So IndyCar, Speedway, whatever they are, they want nothing to do with the concentration camp. Again, it's 2025. I'm on camera talking about a new concentration camp for stupid idiots in Indiana to clap at, take selfies at. That's associated with race cars. That we're going to lock up, not we, the Reich is going to lock up humans, and a percentage of the population here will think that's a wonderful thing. Percentage of the population falls for bullshit like this. That's why the United States of America is over forever. Stick a fucking fork in it. You voted for it. Don't blame me. Nike is saying they're going to take a hit of about $1 billion because of the tariffs, and they're going to need to offset with higher prices. Adidas, a $230 million hit, will have to raise prices. Walmart is warned of looming price increases. Ford, they're saying they're going to take at least a $3 billion hit. That's with a B, son, billion. Were the tax cuts worth it? Idiots. Because I guarantee the top people at all these companies voted Republican. I guarantee it. Were the tax cuts worth it? It's only 6 months in, and 230 million, 1 billion, 3 billion. What's that going to do over 4 years or 8 or 12 years? Because Donnie's not leaving. It's going to end your business. Do you understand why I say all these companies are going to go away now? Donnie is here for chaos, division, war, and worship. Chaos, destroying everything. Creating complete chaos. That's his mission. That's what he's here for. Does he know that? I don't know. Maybe he's just grifting. He is dismantling the United States on purpose for his buddy Vlad and himself. Thanks to you, Rubes. And you know who I'm talking to. Hegseth, we haven't seen him in forever. Where's he been? They send him to fucking detox or something? Look at him. He looks a little different, doesn't he? Something definitely has happened, taken place. I wonder what it is. In an insane moment, Hegseth, head of the Pentagon, defends putting a Confederate monument in Arlington Cemetery. We recognize our history. We're proud of our history. No, son, fuck you. It ain't my history. And I ain't proud of anything Confederate. They were traitors to their nation that fought for old white slave owners. Because they're morons. They went to die as the old white slave owners sat home. And they tried to overthrow our government over having free labor. Because they didn't want their southern economy fucked with. Even though they still would have been rich without the free labor. That's what the war was fought for. Greedy old men in the South that didn't want to pay for their own labor. That's it. That's why all those men had to die. That's why there had to be an attempted overthrow. And this Reich celebrates it. They're probably talking about the Albert Pike statue. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Because Pike was a Confederate too. Why are we celebrating traitors to our nation? We shouldn't be. Traitors to our nation are in charge, so I guess they can relate. Nice to see drunk-ass Hegseth again. I wonder if he's on a bender or what the fuck happened. I don't know what this is about. Just Donnie Grifton, I guess. U.S. has imposed tariffs on 1 kilogram and 100-ounce gold bars. I don't know how that works. What's going to happen with that? All I can say is I don't know what that grift's about. I'm sure Donnie's going to make a shit ton of money on it. Because, you know, gold's kind of important. It is being shipped back and forth and all that shit. I've never seen such a just naked grifter. Just 24/7 there is a grift either being executed, acted out, taken advantage of, planned, threatened. I'm sorry, it's got to be the apocalypse. He has to be the Antichrist. I've never seen anything like this. It's so illogical. Donnie's taking credit for a treaty between Azerbaijan and Armenia. This is how desperate this fat orange fuck is to get a Nobel Peace Prize. No one even knows what these countries are. No way could they point him out on a fucking map. That's how desperate Donnie is. There hasn't been a military casualty between Azerbaijan and Armenia in over a year and a half. This won't stop. Trump from claiming he negotiated historic peace deal, followed by his predictable lamentations that he should be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Exactly, that's what this is. The Man of Peace Act is. I mean, this is getting pathetic. Azerbaijan and shit. That's where we're going. Oh my God, let's read his gibberish. I look forward to hosting the president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and the prime minister of Armenia, Nikol Pashinyan, at the White House tomorrow for a historic peace summit. Historic, he says. No one even knows who these countries are, especially in America. These two nations have been at war for many years, resulting in the deaths of thousands of people. Many leaders have tried to end the war with no success until now, thanks to Trump. Trump's writing this, by the way. This is on his money laundering site. My administration has been engaged with both sides for quite some time. Tomorrow, President Aliyev and Prime Minister blah, blah, blah will join me in the White House. I'm not going to read the rest. You get the point. Donnie has solved the Azerbaijan-Armenian war. Get him his fucking Nobel right now. I didn't even know there was a war, son. Neither does anybody fucking else. The Antichrist wants the Nobel so bad he's bringing up Azerbaijan and Armenia and having a summit at the White House. Saying they've been fighting just forever and I solved it. Only because he wants a Nobel, he could care less who fucking lives or dies in America, Azerbaijan, or anywhere. This is why what I read you earlier is relevant. Trump names himself chair of LA Olympics Task Force, seeks role for military during games. Los Angeles Times. What did I read you? Adolf Hitler elbowed his way in to be in the center of attention at the Olympics in 1935. Same thing here, because Donnie needs every title and everything has to be about him. If you haven't realized that by now, he wanted to be Pope, he wants the Nobel, he wants to be, center of attention at the games. And have the military have a role. Very dictatory, very Hitlery, very Reichy. In fact, Hitler even did it. Who do you think he's emulating, for fuck's sake? All the elements are there. Demonization of law enforcement, the press, science, academia. Demonization of protest against people. Roundups, mass memo machine guns. And again, don't tell me you care about the law, son. You voted for a convicted felon. Fuck off with that. Your own military on your streets, about to be on DC streets soon. No one bombed Pearl Harbor. Yet military gonna be on the streets. Already are in California. 250 still there. Now he's openly saying he's going to do it in D.C. and he has the right to do it and blah, blah, blah. No, he doesn't. He'll do it anyway, but no, he doesn't have the right. So head of Olympics, chair of Olympics task force, and wants the military there as well, like a real dictator, like Kim Jong would do. Why are you people having the Olympics here? Are you fucking crazy? Have it somewhere else. Be smart. For once in your lives. This is Leon promising a bunch of shit like he always does off in the future to keep the investors calm and to try and, give the people out there the impression that he's actually achieving something. Slight chance of Starship flight to Mars crewed by Optimus in November, December next year. No fucking way is that happening in November, December of next year. A lot needs to go right for that. Yeah, we know, Leon. We know. More likely first flight without humans in 3 to 5 years. 3.5 years. Next flight, 5.5 years with humans. No, there's not going to be humans flying to Mars in 5 years. The Reich will have ruined everything by then anyway. That's if we even have 5 more years. Even if we did, no manned flight to Mars is going to take place in 5 years. No Optimus flight is taking place next year to Mars. That's not going to fucking happen. The robots are not reliable enough. Not even close. First flight without humans in 3.5 years. That's not going to probably take place. The flight in 5.5 years with humans definitely not fucking taking place. None of it's taking place. Again, that's Leon. Promise everything way off in the future or in 2 weeks, 2 years, whatever, a year, and the whole fraud doesn't collapse. That's Leon. And the only reason the fraud is even a thing is because of the welfare you give them. That's it. Company would have been long bankrupt if not for the welfare you give them to this day. Oh, my channel that just got shut down. It made it to 5,000 subscribers. Remember, I showed you 4.99, and I told you that's the literal reason they just shut it down again. They saw it growing again. It was at 4.99. I didn't even know till they shut it down. I was looking at the channel, and then I noticed, I was like, the subs. It's 4.99 thousand. And in 6 months, I went from the high 2,000s to 5,000. They can't have that. That's something else I learned when I was looking at the backup channel, Shadow Prince. I saw the last post was 6 months ago. So they generously gave me my channel that I built myself. They did absolutely goddamn nothing. The business, the thing, the endeavor I built myself, after they took it away for the 100th time, they gave it back for a whole 6 months. Isn't that generous of the adjudicated criminal Google? So I had my channel back 6 months before they shut it down entirely again. Yet, somehow, even though it's shut down, I still made it. I'm still gaining and I'm shut down. That's hilarious. Let's make it bigger. Look at the 5. And again, this is after 100 shutdowns, son. 5,000. And my shit, if I do a regular video, it's not circulated at all whatsoever. Just sits in a bubble just like a TikTok. But the live thing somehow gets around their utter censorship of me. And it reaches people. And when I get to reach people, it grows. I've proven that over and over again. That's why they shut me down over and over again. One day others will have the authority. That's all I'll say on that. You won't enjoy that time. So enjoy now. 5,000 subs, though. One more time, look at that. Still made it. I saw that today. I went over to the other channel. I don't know what I was looking for. I was like, oh shit, it hit 5,000. Cunts. Okay, so I said my last posts were 6 months ago. The adjudicated criminal Google generously gave me back my endeavor for 6 months. Isn't that great? So let's see what was going on 6 months ago quickly. Trump pardons the J6 rioters. That's what we were talking about. First on the agenda, pardon the traitors that took place in his coup. Let's go to the next one. Leaked meta rules. Users are free to post Mexican immigrants are trash or trans people are immoral. Remember, Stephen Miller called Zuckerberg in and said, you got to let us be saying the N-word and stuff on your site. It's not Nazi enough. What are you doing, Zuck? I know you're a Jew, but what are you doing? You got to let us Nazi this thing up. So, what we saw, under Meta's relaxed hate speech rules, users can now post, "I'm a proud racist," or "black people are more violent than whites." And any of these websites, they dare censor me or you or when this is in their rules. And this website, Google, YouTube, they got the Reich all over their shit. Tim Pool, damn near a Russian asset, still broadcasting, and we all know it. So there's no legitimacy to this process at all whatsoever. It's run by an adjudicated criminal, for fuck's sake, Google. And then Meta, my God, how do you take that process seriously when they called him in and said, you got to make it more racist, and then he made it more racist? This was 6 months ago. This was what I was reading to you. The document states that dehumanizing statements are still forbidden, but cites as examples of content moderators should allow posts saying, immigrants are grubby, filthy pieces of shit, gays are freaks, and Mexican immigrants are trash. So that's what Meta allows now. Not that they didn't allow it, a lot of it before. It was a right-wing hellscape before, my God. But this, wow, so much for community guidelines and keeping us all safe, right, guys? Meta exempted top advertisers from standard content moderation. I read all these things to you. What does that mean? That means if you pay me, you don't get shut down. You get that? Whether you're an advertiser or a creator, you pay me the right money, you get to broadcast all the time. Never worry about moderation or censorship. And we don't care if you're lying, whatever you're saying. That's irrelevant. We don't care if you're taking money from Russia, because we're taking it too. Yeah, you really, how do you take any process on any website seriously when they're doing this? When they allow people to go on their sites and just lie. Because they buy ads. I showed you this picture because they were all paying him tribute. Zuckerberg, Leon, Bezos, all of them. Remember back then when Donnie first got in? I showed you this picture. Ah, the memories of the Reich. Germany and France warned Trump against use of force over Greenland. That's 6 months ago. Again, annexation talk right away. All this was right away, son. Pardons for traitors, annexation. They got a running start right out of the gate. That's why I started saying right in the beginning the things I was saying. I could tell where it was going. Now we're at the point where we got camps, troops on our streets, guys with massive machine guns kidnapping people. I know you're going to say they broke the law, right? Well, Donnie's a convicted felon. You don't care about the law, son. You could fucking care less. Right off the bat, annexation talk. Just like Adolf. Just like Adolf. Did you hear Joe Biden? Joe Biden saying we're going to take other people's countries and resources? No. Obama? No. Bush? Well, yeah. Bush was responsible for the Middle East thing, but That was war. It wasn't straight up annexation, like Donnie's talking about. Just give us your country. I want it. Eventually, the military will be used to do these things. They didn't mention it 1,000 times for nothing. And Hegseth will follow any order, and I mean any order Donnie gives. Meta moves to end fact-checking program. So Meta even took the fact-checking, because when you fact-check right-wing talking points and Nazi talking points, you realize they're all lies and evil and of Satan. So we can't have fact-checking. We can't have things being woke. We can't have the truth out there. Let's turn Grok into a Nazi. Maybe people won't notice because we're from South Africa and, it was normal where I come from. Unbelievable. This was 6 months ago, these horrid things. Hard to remember it all, that there's so much abominations and evil per day. It's the apocalypse. He's the Antichrist. None of this is normal, logical, even close. It's so far over the fucking top. It doesn't even make sense. Why? Because it's supernatural. It's not supposed to. The wheat and chaff are being separated, son. Right before our eyes. You better decide which one you want to be. Again, with the annexation, this was from 6 months ago. Donnie posted this on his money laundering site. Just puts Canada, and America as if we own it. The president posted this. That's the United States is the bottom portion. The top is Canada and Alaska. And he just covers it with an American flag. Like, yeah, we're going to take that on social media for the whole world to see. 6 months ago, right out the gate, baby. Straight to annexation right out the gate. Unfucking believable. I'm actually glad I got to go back and look at this. Trump suggests U.S. territorial expansion and airs grievances. Yes, that's what the press was calling it when they would write articles. Territorial expansion. No, it's stealing people's shit. It's being Hitler. That's what it is. And here's the end. Israeli Security Cabinet approves full military takeover of Gaza. They're saying it out loud that Israel is taking it. Donnie said we're going to own it months ago. Remember that? New York Times. Everyone knew it was going here the second Donnie won. That's what I was saying. But now they're saying it out loud. They're not afraid to. They're comfortable enough, and no one's going to stop them. All roads lead to that temple, to Israel. That's what it's all for. All roads lead to you either keeping your soul or losing it. That's why Israel is at the center of all this now. That's why that agenda is paramount. It was from day one. Donnie is putting two acts on right now. Man of peace and savior of Israel. Savior of the Jews. Why do you think that is? He's a Nazi. He doesn't like Jews. In fact, he'd like to do what Hitler did. Yet he's putting this act on. Why? Because he's AC and he needs that temple and he knows what the agenda is. They have a plan. It's real. Behind every word, behind every fake sentiment, behind every post, there is a plan that he had all the way back in 2015, way before that. The only reason he didn't achieve it in the 2015 to 2020 era is because he didn't have the sycophants in place. He has them now. It's over. It's going to this place. It's going to that temple. It's going to him wanting to be worshipped. He already does want to be worshipped, my God. It's going to that place where you're going to have to make a choice. A mark's going to be presented to you. Maybe a pledge to go along with it. Maybe an RFID, maybe a wearable, who knows? The whole package will be offered. Donnie Coin with the 666 already has it on it. I'm not explaining it again. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to two of you. That's how serious it is. So when that time comes, you must say no matter what it costs you. And that is my final message. Always, when that mark comes around, you must say no. And I'm tired as fuck, so I'm going to go now. This will take forever to upload. It's 1 hour and 36 minutes. My apologies for that. And remember, people, if you'd like to help out, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section, because on this channel, I'm allowed to pin a comment with a link, whatever. I'm not on the other one. If you'd like to help out, it'll be there. I'd appreciate it. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Until the next episode.